Thank you very much, Dr. Lakshmi Vijayakumar, for joining us and for answering the questions that our readers and our viewers have posed. Dr. Lakshmi Vijayakumar is a renowned psychiatrist and she has contributed a lot to suicide prevention as well as mental health policy in India. Dr. Lakshmi, I'll give you the first question from our reader and perhaps we can take it forward from there. So we have one person who, Siddhartha, who has written to us saying, "What can new parents do to deal with their young children as toddlers are showing signs of anxiety and restlessness? And it has a serious cascading effect on new mothers and who are also feeling helpless on how to keep their children engaged." So, what would you advise in for new parents?
Yeah, see, for a toddler and infants and less than 3 or 4 years old, the anxiety doesn't come to them naturally. It is cascaded from the parents, from the environment, and other people. So, if the parents exhibit anxiety and tension and stress and keep worried and keep talking about issues and things like that, somehow, even if they don't understand anything, they will sense that their parents are somehow uncomfortable and stressed, and that will be reflected as stress. That's number one. The number two is many young parents are now stressed about how to keep the children stress free. Okay. Now, that stress itself will be transmitted to the child. See, for a toddler, it is enough if he feels safe. Okay. And that safety and comfort will come only from parents. Okay. So, as long as the parents are there and they are relaxed and they convey that they are safe, the children will be fine. Okay. But when parents become, how can I keep my 4-year-old occupied all the time? You know, what can I do? And it is a problem because many people, young people, working people are working from home. Both of them are working from home. Okay. And usually they will have some kind of outside support to look after the household chores, kids and all that. And that's also not there. So to manage the kid and to do house work from home and all that has caused a lot of stress. But the fact is, when you're working, you have to work it out with your partner. Okay, a toddler will be a toddler. As long as you're comfortable with the toddler will feel comfortable. But the stress comes when you have to work and but also keep the toddler busy. Then the stress comes. How do you do that? And that's a time when you have to be very clear that you can probably have to reduce your hours of work, or you have to take shifts, or you have to compromise on something else. You don't have to cook 3 meals a day or something like that. Okay, but toddler anxiety, particularly during lockdown or something, is purely a transmitted anxiety from the parents. Okay, as long as parents are relaxed, work out a schedule, work out system, okay, they'll be fine. And it is okay for the toddler to be bored sometimes. Okay, you don't have to fit the entire day of his or her day with activities all through. Okay, it's okay for them to be bored. It's okay for them to be a little bit lazy. It's okay for them to be, not doing anything. Okay, so that's perfectly fine. So the most important thing a parent can do to allay the anxiety or stress of a toddler is for you to be relaxed and stress free.
Now,
And see
when
what
you
you
say
do.
Now, when you say parents should be relaxed and stressful, this is obviously a stressful time for pretty much everybody. So, how do you have any specific tips that you can give to these parents as well? And generally,
Yeah,
working people.
this is a stressful time for the entire world. Okay, it's not only for parents who are working. It is for the laborer. It is for the housewife. It is for everybody, medical professional. It's just a stressful time for everyone in the world now. And the biggest stress is, see, as human body, we are able to handle stress once we know what it is. But what makes this pandemic so stressful for everyone is the uncertainty of it. Okay? We do not know how long this is going to last. We do not know whether you're going to get it. We do not know whether you're going to pass it on to somebody. We do not know whether there's any treatment for that. No? So the uncertainty of this pandemic is causing a stress to everyone. So we cannot say don't be stressed, be relaxed, be calm or anything like that, because it is something which we are part of the environment, and this is the environment we have now, and we cannot escape it. Okay, but I am trying for the child to reduce the anxiety. You have to be relaxed with the child. That's all. You don't have to stress yourself about the child, because child as such will get the anxiety only from the parents. Now, how to relieve the anxiety of the parents? Well, there are no easy answers really, because as I said, this is a stressful time because future is at stake, economy is at stake. See, you have three. It depends. See, for example, personally, you are worried about yourself. Okay, you're a breadwinner, you have to go out and work or do anything. You're worried about yourself. Then you're worried about your family, whether anything will happen to them, or even if you're not married, maybe your parents or sisters or whatever it is. So you're worried about the safety of your families, okay? And then you're worried about the career. So because there are a lot of layoffs, cut downs, things like that. So, and you're worried about the economics of it. Okay? And on top of it, the normal traditional supports which we get is from being with friends, going to the temple or going for a walk or whatever it is, we are not able to do. Okay, so all those stress busters which we normally do is also not there. Okay, and as I said, the biggest stress is the uncertainty of the whole thing. Okay, so this is a stressful time for everybody. We do find in mental health that quite a sizable portion of normal population are very anxious and depressed now.
When you're talking about people, a large number of the normal population being depressed, what are the symptoms that one should watch out for, and maybe take heed and do something about it?
Depression can come in many forms. Okay, in say in young children between say 5 and 12 or something, it can be nightmares, bedwetting, oppositional behavior, temper tantrums, refusing food, those kind of things. Okay, because these children, they know something is happening. They find everybody's routine changed. Okay, and they are at home and they see something in the media half understood, not fully understandable. So they can exhibit this. And men and women also exhibit depression in different ways. Men may become aggressive, get to smoking and drinking a bit more, becoming irritable, withdraw, things like that. Women may be crying for small things, feeling what is this, and that will irritate the husband more, things like that. But the worst, of course, here is the older people. Okay? Older people, it's a double whammy for them. So, in the sense that people know that this virus attacks the older people more, so they are that much more anxious. And many older people are living alone, okay, and they have all the comorbidities which makes them at a higher risk, like hypertension and diabetes. So they are terrified that something may happen to them, okay, and the fact that many a time they are away from the children, they are living alone, and the maid or helper is not able to come, so they have to cope with a lot of things. So the depression and isolation in older people is much higher.
Now, you spoke about the elderly. There is another class of very distressed people right now who are walking home for hundreds and thousands of kilometers. The migrant workers who want to go back home. What would you tell the government about how they should be looking out for their mental?
See, if you look at it from the logical perspective, okay, the migrants are better off staying where they are, since slowly things are being eased out and they will be going back to work and earning money. But when we are under stress, when we are under anxiety and we are feeling depressed, we always want to go back to our roots, our family, or which may not be logical really, because in another 2 weeks, if things relax, they will resume their working and everything here. But the human beings are basically social persons, right? So whenever it's like whenever we are down, we reach out to friends, family. We want to go back to our roots, so they want to go back to their roots. Okay, and so we cannot fault them for wanting to go back to their roots. Maybe after going there after a month, they may want to come back again. But right now, it is wanting to be with people whom you love and people who love you. So that is the driving force behind migrant workers wanting to go home. And we cannot say it should not be done because it's a very human need. And we need the government, the state, the central, the NGOs, and the people will have to facilitate this to satisfy this human need as much as possible. Three vulnerable population here. One is the elderly we talked about. The other is the migrant. The other thing which we are seeing which is actually distressing, is the increase in domestic violence, and that is a cause for anxiety also. And of course, the biggest vulnerable population now are the health workers, the frontline people, the sanitation workers, police persons, because they are constantly exposed and they're constantly worried about themselves and their family. At the same time, it's a tug of war for them. They have a duty, and majority of them have taken up this profession because they feel it is their duty. Okay, and if you don't do it, you feel as though you have not done your duty. But doing your duty puts your family at risk. So it becomes a very ambivalent situation for them. So they are also going through a lot of stress. And of course, the sudden stopping of the TASMAC in Tamil Nadu has thrown up its own problems, in the sense that people who are using alcohol, abused alcohol repeatedly, have sudden stoppage, withdrawal reactions, seizures, hallucinations, and then fights at home. So all that also is a huge problem.
So, my last question to you is one from a reader. And this is a person who has said, I am a depressive person, and the scenes shown on TV, like the Palghar lynching, the train accident with body parts lying, and the dead bodies lying in hospitals wrapped in plastic with other patients, distresses me. The only thing we can do is watch TV. Do they not have any laws to not show such things? I go into a deeper depression. What are the ways to overcome it?
No, he's absolutely right. In fact, we do have guidelines on media reporting on mental health. Only thing is the media is not following it, and the press council has put out last September guidelines on how to report mental health and suicide particularly. And I think the media has to be just as media is also considered as frontline workers. They also need to be conscious and sensitive about the kind of pictures which show and the kind of impact it will have on a particularly vulnerable population. As you say, people who already have mental health issues are particularly vulnerable now, because these kind of scenes haunt them repeatedly, not allowing them to sleep or concentrate on anything. So if you want to say how do we address all these mental health issues around this time, I would recommend three things. One is control. Have some sense of control over yourself, over your day. Have a routine, write a journal, have some physical activity in the room, allocate a specific time to talk to friends, read the paper, read a particular book, or do something. That is basically, we feel we are not in control now because one small RNA virus is controlling us now. So if we develop a sense of control, that we do have some control over our things, we will feel better. The next is what connections. Okay, we are recommending physical distancing, not social distancing. Actually, we have to change the word. It is only physical distancing and not social distancing. So we need to be connected. Fortunately, we have all the technology now to stay connected even from your room with people all around the world. So stay connected with friends, family, colleagues. Call up people who you have not called up. Revive old relationships. Talk to your old schoolmates. So stay connected. That is important. The third thing what we say is coherence. That is, many of us are not able to make a sense of what is happening. Why is this happening? What is this? Is this life? What have we achieved? What is our purity? What's the meaning of those kind of a sense of what is a sense of coherence. So we have to look at it as a phase in life which comes, okay, and it is a stressful phase, and how we handle it is how we are going to come out of it. Okay, you can become very insulated, isolated, and withdraw from everybody. Okay, or this could make you realize the importance of friends and support and community and go on. Okay, so it depends on you how you handle the stress. So if you're able to handle it positively and effectively, you will emerge stronger. If you are bowed down by it, you will emerge weak.
All right. So, what is your um, message to the government, whether it's the center or the state? It doesn't matter. What would your suggestion or advice be? Because we are seeing mental health, a wave of mental health issues. What's your advice to the government?
I think just as we are giving importance to treatment protocols and physical aspects, the government should also give equal importance to the psychological effects, which are going to be widespread for a longer time and for more people. The number of people who may get COVID is less, but the impact of that to the population is much more. So the government has to be conscious about this and make suitable psychosocial interventions so that which addresses all aspects in terms of education, refugee, migrants, food, industry, economics, everything. And it has to be a comprehensive multi-sectoral approach. So my advice both to the state and the central government is, this is a time when everybody has to work together. Nobody should work in silos. Health, education, home, economics, like that. So there has to be a complete coordination to make it possible for people to handle this more successfully. And the individual message which I should say is, protect yourself but don't panic. Okay, fear will only make your immunity go down, and that's not what we want.
So one of our readers has asked a question about how she has been very austere in her ways, and not gone out and splurged, obviously because she could not during the lockdown. And now when the lockdown is being eased, and once things go back to a semblance of normalcy, should she go out and splurge? Should she, do something crazy in that sense? Or should she continue to be austere? And this is her doubt.
Yeah, it's not a frivolous question actually. It is a serious question, and it's an important question. So basically, she's asking, do we go back to our usual ways, or should we change? Okay, if we go back to our usual ways, then we haven't really learned anything from this phase. Okay? So this is a stressful situation for all of us. During the times of stress, we learn something. Okay, we learn something about ourselves. So it's a time of self introspection also. So we learn something and we try to become better. Okay, so going back to the usual way is not going. It's not becoming improving or enhancing yourself. Okay, so how can we learn from this and go on to be a better person, better human being, better father, mother's friend, is the question here. It doesn't mean she has to go and be a Scrooge and not spend and be completely austere and become a monk and not enjoy the good things of life. But she can definitely prioritize and make it the expenditure a useful expenditure. It can be, we have a lot of what shall I say, altruism always makes us feel good. So whatever she has saved in this period, if she can do something which will help and benefit others, that's a very altruistic act to do, which will give her pleasure. Okay, she can enjoy her pleasure. So probably from this, what she would have learned is it is okay to enjoy a little finer things of life, but that doesn't make life. And if she has learned that lesson, she will use her money wisely.
Great. Thank you very much, Dr. Lakshmi, for your valuable time as well as your expert advice. And we will come back to you very soon, hopefully, and do another session like this. Thank you very much.